I don't think we even need to introduce ourselves, but if we do, I'm Mitch Dugas, and then you got Ariel Fulkerson, and then we have Andrew. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, who you are, how long you've been in mortgage lending, all that good stuff.
My name is Andrew Augustiniak. I am the area manager for neighborhood loans, and I've been in mortgage lending for 11 years now.
Nice. So yeah, we want to have Andrew here today just to go through some questions with all of his experience. And so one of the big questions we're getting right now is from a lot of consumers looking to, they don't want to buy right now because rates are high or it's the holiday season, so they want to kind of start that home buying process in 2024. So what would your suggestions or tips be to anyone looking to buy a home in 2024 and what they can do right now to prepare themselves for when that time comes?
I would say, as far as the fear is concerned, I mean, Warren Buffett says when there is blood in the water and there's fear is usually the time to buy. And like going back to, I mean, I think Bitcoin is a great example. If anybody follows crypto and Bitcoin, anytime everybody started getting in, everything flooded through the roof and there was the FOMO feeling, and then that caused prices to go up, and then people were overpaying for Bitcoin, and then when the market would go down, they'd freak out. And in reality, the best times were to buy Bitcoin when everybody was freaked out and they were selling all their Bitcoin, and then values went down, and then you could buy it cheap again. And I think the same concept applies to housing. Is when there's fear on top of holidays for our industry as far as real estate mortgage. The holidays, less people want to move, and add all the fear of interest rates to that, then you have kind of like a perfect storm to go by, because you have way less competition, just like Bitcoin every 3 to 4 years. And right now, when rates are high, there are just so many people on the sidelines. I have 100 plus borrowers on the sidelines who I'm trying to explain, like, you're only going to cost yourself more money, because yeah, if rates go down 1%, you might save $300 in a payment, but you're going to spend $30,000 more in a home price, as opposed to, you'd rather own that asset, so when rates go down, you get the benefit of that increase in value, but then you can just lower your rate. Um, so that's my encouragement to everybody who's fearful, is like, the reality is there's always an opportunity when other people are fearful. As a real estate investor myself, like, I'm looking for those opportunities constantly right now, because you can strike deals, you can get seller concessions, like, you can get what you want, you can get the house you want, you can get seller concessions, get your closing costs paid for, which I think if you can get your closing costs, or at least a good portion of them paid for, it's a win there. Um, but that would be my answer to the people who are fearful. As far as preparing for 2024, I would say at the end of the day, just understand, like, do I want to buy? And if you want to buy, just start looking, because you don't know when that perfect house is going to come. There's never going to be a perfect house, but you want to be ready in case a house pops up that you are interested in, because there's never a
Hmm.
perfect time. You're never going to time it. Anybody who tries to time the perfect time to sell or the perfect time to buy will always lose. And the perfect time is always just like when you have that gut feeling of like, oh, maybe I should own a home, or maybe I should buy my second home and turn one into a rental. But you want to start being proactive, making sure, checking your qualifications as far as credit, income, assets, to make sure you're good, because a lot of people come to us and they think they're good, but then come to find out they need another 6 months of work. So if they hadn't waited, then we could have fixed this issue way long ago. So at the end of the day, my best advice for 2024 is getting your crap done and ready to go now. So then when 2024, whether it's January, February, or March, or April, or May, like, you're ready to go. That's the main thing, is just getting
Yep.
getting it done, getting it ready to go. Because then if that house that checks all the boxes pops up January 1st, like, you're ready to rock and roll.
Yep. Just get prepared because even people that are waiting and say, "Oh, I'll just start in 2024," they might get pre-approved and realize, "Oh, I still need to do A, B, and C before I can actually even get to the point I need to get done." So you can always get ahead of that. A good thing. On you were talking about the fear-based kind of all that stuff with the high rates. So inventory is not going changing anytime soon, right? I just saw a report today, and I can link it here in the comments or something, but it talked about, what was it, Ariel? Was it 70%
Hmm.
of mortgages were originated in 2019. So over half the mortgages existing are below the half of what the market rate is today. So half the mortgages existing are below 4%. And those people are
Yeah.
just going to continue to hold those assets. They're not going to sell or anything. If anything,
Inventory isn't going to be
yeah.
coming anytime quick.
So if you're waiting for home prices to, crash or plummet down, it's not going to happen. There might be a slight correction. I'm not gonna say there won't be, but inventory is not going anywhere to cause those rates home prices to just come plummeting down. So if you're trying to time the market, like Andrew said, you're gonna lose.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
I mean, think about when COVID started and stocks dropped 50% that one day, and everybody's just like the world's ending, and that only boosted real estate. Like even
Mm-hmm.
so, uh, what caused the last meltdown in real estate was bad loan products that caused payments to jump and arms and uh, interest rates on those arms jumping and payments jumping and like all these just weird,
Yeah.
unboring fixed rate loans. And those just frankly just don't really exist for the most part. I mean, rates are high, but they're still fixed. And so, I mean,
Yeah.
for the most part, rates will get better at some point whenever these people who have higher rates will refi. So at the end of the day, the causes of the previous issue aren't existent anymore. So could something cause housing to go down 100%? Like Mitch was saying, values will come down. They'll always go up and down and up and down. But will we see another crash like 2007, 8? Who knows? We'll only see what will cause that,
Yeah.
because like you were saying, even everybody who owns a house over the past 10 years, they all have fixed low interest rates, and I mean, it's just not, they'd be done.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like a great asset for the rest of their life. And that's what I
Yeah.
teach a lot of our borrowers is like how to do that. So
Yeah.
that's Ariel said, inventory is not growing all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So just another thing, Andrew, to touch on too, just because, we're hearing obviously the doom and gloom of rates and the mass exit of lenders and agents and stuff like that. So in this climate kind of that we're in, what's just one or two things maybe that you're doing specifically that you can share maybe with other loan officers and even referral partners? It's kind of like, how are you providing value right now to your partners and your agents, especially in this climate?
That's a great question. So ultimately, like our job as loan officers is to help our realtors grow and just be there as a support system. And so our big things right now are coaching them on how to do things based on what's going on. So right now, holidays. This is the time to show appreciation to your clients, treat them to something, do an event. Give back essentially while supporting other businesses, helping them start networking groups, teaching seminars. Education is a huge piece right now
Mm-hmm.
of of helping them spread education as far as real estate and mortgage and investing to others, teaching them how to uh, refer others and actually network. I think that the biggest thing that we have to do as realtors and lenders is give. You have to give to receive, and so
Mm-hmm.
doing
Yep.
things like that. But honestly, like the teaching seminars and putting together seminars so they can get in front of more people, like that is the key. And we got so used to Zoom calls and online calls that a lot of people got content. And you can do hybrid classes, right? But it's just putting together
Mm-hmm.
the those educational type classes and happy hours so our realtors can meet more clients, and ultimately the more people you
Mm-hmm.
meet, the more potential business you get. So that's what we're working on.
Just thinking outside of the box too, trying different techniques, different strategies. Um,
Yep. And to go off Andrew's kind of education piece and trying to push that in those seminars, I think the social media aspect of it is huge too. If you're not on social media, you're losing out on such a wide audience there to educate, and just grow your sphere. So I know us, Andrew, you guys know very well at Neighborhood Loans. We really trying to push that to help our agents with their social media presence and just educating their platform via social media as well.
Basically, finding what they struggle with, or they don't have the resources to
Hmm.
or to do. They don't have the resources to make happen, and then filling that void. That's going to be the key. So that's our motto, as you guys know, at Neighborhood, is just trying to fill the void of where they need assistance.